In the darkest nights, we find our light. Battered souls, but we won't lose sight. Surviving together, never alone. Through every trial, we carry on. Surviving together, never alone. Through every trial, we carry on. Surviving together, we stand tall. United forever. Strength and courage will overcome. Oh, surviving together, victorious, and never, never alone. Hand in hand, we'll face the unknown.
We see you, we hear you, and we believe you. Hey everyone, how you doing today? Welcome to our Saturday show here at Surviving Together, a safe place for sexual assault and other trauma survivors to come together and connect on their healing journeys, as well as trauma-related education for all. I am so glad you have chosen to join me today. I am going to be talking about my personal story as to why I chose to share it here on YouTube, my survivor story. I've had some questions lately, and I thought that this would be a good time to address it. Before I get into welcoming everyone from the chat, just let me remind you that April 1st was our deadline for t-shirt submissions for our clothesline project. If you're not familiar with the clothesline project, you can go to my YouTube channel, the community tab. There's a post there, tells you all about it, as well as gives you lots of different examples of t-shirts that have been done in the past. Basically, it is writing whatever truth you want to put on a t-shirt, and it is helping to break the silence of sexual assault and domestic violence, as well as other traumas and mental conditions. We've decided to kind of expand our reach. Because we are a virtual community, we can't do this as a clothesline project in person, an art installation. So April 19th, we will be debuting all of our submissions that we have received. If you want to submit something, you can go ahead and send that to me. Here we go. There is my email address. You can send it to me at survivingtogethersass@gmail.com. Just put clothesline project in the subject line. And guys, this is not an expensive project that is not meant to test your art ability at all. I used highlighters and markers for mine. I used an old t-shirt that I had in the closet. If it's something that you want to wear and you don't want something on the back of it or the front, turn it inside out, get something at Goodwill, whatever. If you don't feel like marking up or don't have a t-shirt that you can mark up and you want to create something online and use something like Canva or some other online resource, you can do that as well. Just send a pic of the graphics, send the file to us, and I will be happy to include that with our submissions. We already have several that have been made online, and they're just great. So whichever way works for you. April 1st was our deadline. It was a nice even number, but it's a Tuesday. So we're going to extend it until the 5th, which is a week from today. So April 5th is our new deadline. So you have 1 week from today to get your submissions in if you do in fact want to submit a t-shirt. All right, with that out of the way, just want to also mention that following today's live, I will be on 5 questions with the source, and Carmel has dropped the link already in here. And Carmel, if you can keep me on time as well, because I'm going to need to leave here. Let's end the stream at 3:45. So it's going to be a little bit shorter of a live today, but I need to have a quick break, grab a drink, and then hop over to the source and do my check and all that kind of stuff over there before we hit live over there. So please join me, hop from this one over to the next. And I'm going to be speaking with him about the channel, about my story, my journey, where I want things to go, as well as just silly questions, kind of like playing 20 questions. What's my favorite color? What's my favorite dessert? That sort of thing. So learn a lot about me, I'm sure. So I'm really looking forward to that. So 5 questions with the source. And Doran, I see that you are here today as well. So thank you and welcome. I am glad you were here. Let me go ahead and introduce everybody. I should say hi to everybody else. Indigo Twin. I absolutely love this. Let me get rid of my email banner here for a moment. And I need to put this up. May love and light warm your day. I think it's so brave for survivors to share their stories, break the silence, break the cycle. Absolutely, 100%. And it does. It takes a lot of courage to go publicly, to speak about your story, but not everybody needs to do it publicly. I'm going to talk today about why I chose to do that, and also discuss, is it right for you? Because as you guys know, you're more than welcome to come on my channel and talk about your story, if you would like, in depth, just briefly, whatever you need. I'm here and I can guide you through that process. So let me officially welcome Krumel. I hope you are having a good evening over where you are. I think I've gotten time changes correct. You guys are Sunday. You're doing your time change and going forward. We've already done it, but parts of Europe are going to be doing it on Sunday. Body Illusion, how are you doing today, sweetie? I've seen you've been doing some posting as of late as well, and I'm so thrilled that you have been doing that. I hope you are well. Yes, big shows today. I have mine. Echo is going to be live with somebody. Um, Big Jack is Big Jack Story Time is going to be live tonight, and I do believe that's the Spin the Wheel, right? Saturday Jammin' Night, where they'll have like 5 people up, and whatever thing you do, whether you sing, whether you play the guitar, whether you write poetry, whether you are a comedian and you've got a little comedian skit or whatever, there's going to be a bunch of people there, and it should be a really good time. As well as at 6 p.m. Eastern, the Gen X Effect will be telling his story on Jimena's channel in her series, Journeys to Light. So that should be awesome as well. Action-packed Saturday, I tell ya. And the source shared his. I did see your post about that, and it just reminded me about the other shows that were on today. So thank you very much for that, Doran. Rise ability with possibilities are infinite. Love that handle name. That is great. Hello and welcome. I don't think I've seen you in here before. So welcome to our SAS community. I very much appreciate you being here. Hope your day is going well. Audrey Gore is going to be making dinner, so she's going to be in and out. That's absolutely fine. I hope your evening is going well. Hope your Saturday has been good so far. I actually took a little walk before we got some rain here, so a little chillier than it was this morning, but that's okay. I was thrilled to have at least some. I was thrilled to have no snow to be walking in. Let's put it that way. Teresa with wounds to wisdom is here. I'm hoping you are doing well today. And does that bring me? Well, we started at 3, so it's 45 minutes. So what time did we start for you, Carmel? So it'll just be 45 minutes from whatever time we started. You probably sarcasm. I kind of lose it. Let's see if I missed any other. Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you today. How are things going for you? I have not seen you in a little bit. All right. Now, why was I interested even in the time change? Well, we do have our people in Europe who, when I'm watching time zones is kind of your thing, Indigo. Oh, good. I'm glad that you're on top of it. Why did I have to know? Well, I just put up a community post just before I was here. So I was a few minutes late. and I've spoken here, and I don't have my little thingy up, and I need to because it's part and parcel. It's not here. Oh no. Hang on, guys. I've got to do this because it's supposed to be up. So give me one little second while it loads. There we go. Part of the agreement of being a finalist for the Women Changing the World Global Awards was that I advertised that I was chosen as a finalist. And the winners are going to be announced April 3rd. That is Thursday. It is finally almost here. With the time change taken into account, it is going to start at 8:30 Eastern time till 10:30 Eastern time. So it's 2 hours. They're going to announce all the winners in all the categories. I do not know where my category is going to fall within that time frame. They are streaming it live on Facebook, which I will be streaming live on my channel. So you're welcome to join the channel. I'll be in and out because we have a separate Zoom set up for finalists who couldn't make it over to London, which is where the award ceremony is being held. So I'll be here and I'll be there, but I'll have someone backstage who will be monitoring the chat and making sure the Facebook feed is running smoothly and all of that. So I hope that you can join me, at least for part of it. If you miss it, one of the reasons of streaming it on here is that I'll be able to, if I'm fortunate enough to be named first, second, or third, I'll be able to take that and post it so everyone can see. But as I even said in my post, regardless, I'm just honored to have chosen one of the 12 finalists in the category of women in Women in Journalism and Media. And in the post, you can see the pictures of all of the others, the other 11 women who are in the category with me, as well as links to their profiles if you're interested in checking them out. They've all done absolutely amazing things. Mysterious Mayo, is this Mayonnaise Entertainment? Did you change your name? I like it. Let me know. Hello, Angelique. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. Um, Thank you for that, Indigo. I appreciate that. Yes, I work only in Eastern time zones. So if you know what it's Eastern, you just adjust from there. So 8:30, that's going to be 5:30 Pacific. So if you fall somewhere in for there, it's going to be really super duper early for you, Doran, who is all the way in Hawaii. For you guys who don't know, the source is on Maui. So I'm not even sure what your time is over there. It's quite a ways. Mayonnaise Entertainment. Okay, good. I'm glad I got that right. Perfect. Oh, and there is a link. I have already set up a thumbnail for the awards ceremony, so there is a link in the community post, but you can also just see it on the channel page as well. So if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. Make sure you click the bell for all for notifications, and then you'll make sure to get the notification as to when the stream is going on. I've got Wednesday's thumbnail set up, as well as next Saturday is the first Saturday of the month, guys. What does that mean? It's Laugh Saturday again. And cross your fingers that there's no emergency, but hopefully it will be Laugh Saturday with mac and cheese. So David has agreed to come on. He's super duper excited. We may have a special guest. I'm not going to announce yet because not sure if she's going to be in a place where she can join, but we'll see. So we are hoping for that, but it should be a great time. I have got some fun things set up. As promised, we are going to talk about some of the lawsuits behind some of these silly product labels. So what stupid things did people do that the companies actually then had to put that warning on a product to say, don't do this. Don't use our product that way. And that should be fun. And I've also got some Mad Libs. Somebody brought that back. It was a blast from the past, and I thought, oh, that's going to be a good one. I have one that my son did, I'm going to say maybe 8 years ago. I'm not sure, but it ended up being flippin' hilarious, and it was the reason that we saved it. So I wanted to read that one to you guys. So we may do that. I'm banned from Facebook as well. That's why, Carmel, we are, the Facebook feed will be from somebody else, but it will be on my channel. So you'll be able to watch the Facebook feed here on Surviving Together. So all you have to do is come to Surviving Together and you'll be able to watch the awards ceremony along with me. Okay. So doesn't matter if you have Facebook or not. I'm still fighting with them. They think I'm not a real person for some reason. But we will definitely be having it here. So you can join. Aquarius, hello. Stash Cash, hello. Dave T from Boston. I hope all of you are doing well. Thank you for joining me. All right. So shall we get into it? I think that's finally all the announcements that I have for today. Just was a little bit. So how did I come to talk about my story on YouTube? Well, I decided to start this YouTube channel. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel and trying to provide a safe space for other trauma survivors, I should at least get my story out there and let you guys know that I know what I'm talking about. I know where you're coming from. Speaking to all the other survivors, I know what it's like to support somebody who has been through a traumatic event. So I felt it was important to tell my story for that reason, but not only because of that. There were the other driving force really for me was about speaking my truth, letting it be known, and taking back all of the power that I felt I didn't have at that moment. Even though I had been speaking about my experience privately with survivors as I counseled counseled them during forensic exams, exams that you get when you have a sexual assault and they're brought in. I used to volunteered at a domestic violence shelter and sometimes would share experiences with them. It really was about me and knowing that I'm still me. No matter what I've been through, I'm still me vis-a-vis you. This is what you get. And there's no shame. There is no stigma that should be attached to me. I don't feel guilt for what I went through because I know I didn't do it. All the shame, all the guilt, it belongs on the perpetrator, right? And we've spoken about this before. I wanted you guys to know also that you're not alone. Whether you're a survivor, whether you're just a supporter, you're not alone in this journey because it truly is a healing journey. And my journey has not ended. And as I go through this, I learn so much. And there are still aspects of myself that I find myself dealing with and discovering that maybe I haven't quite closed the door on that particular chapter or that particular feeling. Discovering why I do things the way I do. All of it has been part of my healing journey, and you guys have been there with me. And this journey is never going to end for me. If I eventually get to the point where I feel like all of the effects of my past trauma have been dealt with, meaning I've processed them and I've worked through them, there's going to be other things that come up in my life that, whether the trauma related or not, I'm sure things that I've dealt with, it's going to affect how I do things. It's going to color my behavior. And so we're always constantly on this journey of betterment and of healing. So letting you all know that you aren't alone in this, there are others out there who are looking for support, who are looking for knowledge, who are looking for education in regards to this. I'm constantly educating myself as I bring you some of these stories, as I bring you some of these topics that I talk about. There's pieces that I am learning each and every time that I do it. And it's exciting for me to share that information with you and to have somebody tell me afterwards, I did not know that. That makes so much sense. Or to share with you some of the exciting research that's being done and say, who knows, a year or 2 years down the road, this is may be a new therapy that is going to be offered. Or here's what they've discovered about the body, and how trauma is stored, how trauma memories are stored. They scientifically proven that trauma memories are stored in the body, and not just in the brain, but in all parts of our body. So education is certainly the third point. Um, but in speaking, before I get to that, in speaking to all of you and letting you know that you're not alone, the pieces for me that really made me want to come out in the 3-part series that I did explaining my story, and you can see those videos. They're all short videos. I think they're no more than 10 minutes. And the reason that I broke them up as such is, one, it can be a lot. This is certainly triggering information. And I should put my trigger warning up as well, just so that it's there. So please protect your mental health. If anything I'm discussing is triggering to you, if you feel that your anxiety levels are rising, please take a step back. And after this as well, do a self-assessment. Make sure you're doing okay. If you're not, reach out, please, whether it's to me, whether it's somebody else in your support system. Really want to make sure that you guys are okay, because your mental health is always #1 priority. Tuber Chat, welcome. I'm glad you're here today. I hope your afternoon is going well. I hope you've gotten a little bit of the nicer weather that we have here. Tuber Chat is up in Canada, and Janet is here, another one of our fellow Canadians. We have lots of Canadians here. Ben Bacon Bits, where are you? Oh, there we go. My cursor was over you. I didn't see you. Indigo, I did not know that. That's something that if I get a chance, I will talk about later. That is fascinating, though. Where was I? Oh, yes. So my journey. I think it's really healthy for people to know that there are others who have processed trauma, that it's possible, that, if you're just at the beginning of your journey, if you've just had the trauma, or you're just recognizing the trauma effects now, and relating what you're going through back to some trauma, that healing is possible. Wherever you're stuck at, or wherever you are in your journey, there is a beyond. And with love and support and guidance, you can get there. Now, I am not a therapist. I am not a licensed psychologist or a psychiatrist. I'm somebody who's been there. I'm someone who is a survivor of childhood sexual assault. I'm a survivor of child-on-child sexual assault. And I'm a survivor of adult sexual assault, as well as throw in some emotional abuse and emotional neglect, throw that in the mix as well. So big T and little t trauma, as we say. Big T trauma, those big, huge incidences that once is enough, and there's your trauma. Little t being just consistent, chronic neglect, chronic child abuse, chronic emotional abuse. All of that adds up over time. whether it's from the home, whether it's from bullying, if it's in your marriage, whether it's facing, you know, sexism at work or racism at work, anywhere that it is, right? It adds up over time and it can be a very traumatic experience. Hey, Tommy Stiggs, glad you're here. I hope you have a great afternoon as well. So, education being definitely the third prong of why I've done this. As you heard when I welcomed you all here, it is not only to provide a safe space for all survivors to come together and connect on their healing journeys, but is also to provide trauma education for all, for anyone. When we look at the numbers and we look at 65% of people in their lifetime are going to experience some form of trauma, that's significant. So if you haven't yet, you still may. Unfortunately, statistically speaking, hope it doesn't happen to you. But if it does, or if it happens to somebody close to you, maybe some of this information will be helpful. I think it's very important that we understand trauma and that we understand how trauma affects not only us, but others, because we need people in our lives. And you may see something in somebody else and go, oh, I understand why that is. And when you have an understanding, it makes it easier to connect with that person. It makes it easier to deal with the person, right? So providing trauma education for everybody is critical. And it's not just what is trauma, how do we heal from trauma, but it's learning about grooming. It's learning about how to identify victims. It's learning about how to support somebody who's been through trauma, whether they just went through it or they're just dealing with it now. Whether you get into a relationship and someone reveals to you that they're a survivor and they may have certain triggers that you're going to need to be aware of. And that relationship can be a friendship or it can be a romantic relationship. It's, to me, I liken it, it's just as important as, menopause is a female thing, right? Biologically speaking, it's a female thing. However, it's really important that men understand it as well. So you understand what your female friends are going through, or your wife, or your girlfriend. That knowledge increases our empathy towards other people, which can only be a good thing. Hello, Hollywood. How are you doing? Glad you are here. Let's see. Yeah, so talking about trauma, particularly sexual assault, domestic violence, financial trauma, all of these things, there's a certain stigma attached to them, right? Sexual assault, how was it possibly your fault? Did you not run in time? Were you not aware that that guy was potentially dangerous? Did you come on to him? Women in domestic violence situations, we hear it all the time. Why didn't you just leave? Because it's not as easy as that. And the first 24 hours after somebody leaves a domestic violence situation is the most dangerous time for them. The most dangerous time. So there's a lot of answers as to why they just didn't leave. And something else that we're going to be exploring is medical trauma. It's an area we haven't talked about yet on the channel, but affects a lot of people and a lot of members right here in our chat as well that I'm coming to discover as I'm getting to know all of you. So that's another area that we're going to talk about. And we haven't spoken a lot about financial abuse, but that's something we're going to be delving into in a future live as well. I'm going to do one on financial abuse. I think I might actually do one on menopause as well, so that you guys out there can have a little bit better of an understanding as to what's going on. And you females, because there is so much information out there, and realizing how little information we are really given, unless you're going to somebody a doctor, who really knows what they're talking about, or have done a lot of your own research. So I don't know, maybe something that I might talk about. Yeah, some of you guys don't have to worry about menopause anymore. Don't rub it in, all right? Just don't rub it in. I just saw my menopause doctor this week, so that's why it's on my mind. Hey, Clint, how are you doing? I'm glad you're here. Hey, Crystal, what's up? How's your place? Are all your boxes put away? So, normalizing the conversation around these things that society has labeled as taboo, or that, there's some form of a stigma attached to the victim when there shouldn't ever be. Shining the light on the dark chases away the shadows. They can't live there. And this should be a conversation that you can have. It's a conversation that needs to happen if you're in a relationship. It's a conversation that every parent needs to have with their child. And it's conversations that friends should be able to have openly. The more we talk about it, and granted, in the last 20 years, there has been leaps and bounds that have occurred in society compared to, let's say, pre-set 1970s. But there's still a long way to go. I still encounter people who feel that, let's say, I should wear a skirt in the courtroom because I'm a female. There are still people who I encounter that say, why would somebody ever stay once they've been hit? If they didn't have enough sense in them to get out then, well, kind of they deserve what they got. These attitudes still exist. And by talking to you, by everyone teaching their children, we can change the world. We truly can, because we're changing it one generation at a time. It's amazing speaking to my son as to what he and his friends think about these issues, and how different it is from the way that I was raised and what I was told, which was next to nothing. Stranger danger, don't get in, Chester's van type of thing, and you'll be good. Don't take candy from strangers, and don't go looking for lost puppies. That's about where my education was. Not really helpful when we consider that I think it's less than 5% of all sexual assaults are stranger related. 95% of sexual assault survivors know their abuser. That's some sobering statistic, right? And I forget what the percentages of the abuser being within the immediate family, or being related in a familial way. It's quite high, a lot higher than you would probably ever imagine. I think it's well over 50%. I won't go farther than that because I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, that's why I chose to share my story. I think that everybody should share their story with, I won't say someone, with something, whether that's you're writing down in your journal, whether that's you're speaking to the mirror, whether you're talking to the window and looking outside. There is power in words, and there is power in your voice, in speaking out loud versus just writing. And this is my own personal opinion. But when you actually speak those words out of your mouth and get them out of your head, it becomes real. And I think it's a lot easier to process then because you've spoken it. You can't take it back, but you've vocalized those words. No one ever needs to feel like they have to share their story here on this channel to be a part of it. Because you don't actually have to be a trauma survivor to be part of this. You need to be a supporter. If anyone was to come to you, I expect that you act appropriately. But if you want to share your story publicly, as I do, one, you are always welcome to come on this channel. I will help you through it. You go as deep as you want. You get as raw as you want. You do a brief summary if that's what you need. If we get 5 minutes into the conversation and you need to stop, that's fine too. The only thing that I ask before anybody comes to me and says, hey, I want to do this, I want to share my story with others, is you need to be clear as to why. It needs to be done for yourself. But what is your why? If you can answer me that honestly, then I'm happy to help you through this. And I've got a lot of tips and guidelines that can kind of get you to the place where you're ready to share your story. Because I do think that there's some thinking that needs to go through, that you need to go through, and some organization that needs to happen in order to have a story presented that's going to make sense and is going to help you get through that process as easy as possible. So feel free to email me if this is something that you want to do. I'm happy to discuss. If it's something that you're thinking about, but you're not quite ready to do it now, that's fine too. And again, no one ever feel like you have to do it. Well, that's all I got on that subject, but I do want to get to some of the chat because I know that you guys have been chatting away here. Joe Della, welcome. I hope all things are going well over in the UK. Amelia loves Ariel. Oh, I'm so glad that you are here. I'm just going to go back up in the chat a little bit. Dun, da, da. Osada Treats, how is your day going? If you guys have not checked out Osada's channel, oh my God, he is a baker and just makes the most incredible things. I am so glad I don't live near you, although you can order. And I'm so tempted. There's some stuff that you make I'm just like drooling over. Seventh, hey, how you doing? Glad you are here as well. Indigo says perimenopause smacked me in the face unexpected. Yeah, you know, perimenopause can start as early as in your mid-30s. I'll just say 30s, but 35-ish is kind of where they say that is kind of their earliest. But I'm sure there's been people in their early 30s. You used to think that perimenopause wasn't until 45, right? No, you can start having symptoms way earlier than that. So I would be happy to do menopause as a thing, as a topic, a live topic. I'm sorry, I'm reading and trying to talk at the same time, and that is just not going well. Generational trauma is real. Yes. We've talked about this, and not only is the effects of the trauma as they're passed down from generation to generation, just because of our behaviors. There's something powerful of being able to connect to your mom or your dad or your cousin or your brother or somebody else in the family who's been through a trauma. It doesn't need to be the same trauma, but has been through a trauma, and realizing, yeah, it's not just our generation. You know, I remember when I was about, I'm going to say 13 years old or so, and I really hadn't told anybody about my childhood experiences. And I told my grandmother, she was living with us at the time. And my Nana told me about her story. And it was heartbreaking and eye-opening at the same time, because here I was looking at this 70-year-old woman going, she experienced sexual assault when she was 16. That was, I'm doing the math, I'm going, that was 1926. And I think at 13 years old, it just smacked me as to, how long this has been going on. This is nothing new. It's just how we deal with it as a society. So it was a very powerful moment. Crystal, I'm not sure if you revealed what your testing results were, so it's not my place. And since I don't see your comment, I'm not going to be speaking about that. Exactly, Janet. All trauma is traumatizing, and those experiences are validated when we bring them to light. Yeah. And just because one person went through, two people can go through the exact same trauma, and one is going to come out traumatized and the other is going to come out just fine. Why? Because they're individual people. They've led individual lives. They've had different experiences. They were, possibly raised differently. The cultures that surround them, their values, their mores were different. Perhaps they're different ages, because that can affect how trauma affects you. So many different things go into how much we're traumatized about a particular incident. That is the main reason why I say there is no trauma comparison. We don't compare and say, well, your trauma was worse than mine, or mine was worse than yours. No, it all sucks. And it all sucks equally for us, because your trauma is your trauma, and it's awful. Hey, Joe Town, I hope you are doing well. I'm glad to see you. Hey, Indigo, Asada actually is a guy, and he's a baker. So that's 2 pluses in my book. Big. If you can cook and you can bake, because I can cook, but I am not a baker. I mean, I bake a quiche, but to make bread or cookies, I can manage. But anything beyond that is just not me. No. So yeah, perimenopause can go on for a really long time. I'm probably, I'm probably going to be about 8 years or so with it. My doctor actually got to meet Halle Berry, because she's she's an actress, and she has definitely taken up the mantle for menopause and shining a light on it and normalizing the conversation around it and getting information out there, because women and men, I'll just say people, they just don't know. And part of it is the research is way, way, way behind. We just have not gotten to the point where we have with men, in terms of testing and figuring out women's bodies and our hormones and all of that. Oh, Crystal, I'm so glad. Good. And I will say for everybody, if you missed it, Crystal was diagnosed. She's with fibromyalgia. She does not have lupus, but overall, she's very healthy. So we are thrilled, 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 thrilled that the wait is finally over, because sometimes that is the biggest killer, right? Just, wondering and waiting. And I know fibro is no walk in the park, but at least you know now and can take action accordingly. So, and I know you are. And knowing that there are other people in this community who have fibro and have been dealing with it for years, huge built-in support network. Hey, Cosmic, what's going on from tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow already for you. Cosmic is in Australia. And thank you, Janet, for dropping her link there. Oh, wow, Todd, I didn't know that. Todd Potter says his wife has fibro. Yeah. You know, it may be a subject that we're going to cover here because I do know enough of you in the community who have fibro. The exciting news that I broke the other day about the research that they've been doing with the THC and extracting out the part where it's non-psychedelic, but there's a piece of the terpenes, or one of the terpenes, I should say, that they feel is very effective for chronic pain. So it's the very beginning of the therapy of figuring out how to do a therapy with it, but something that could be coming in the near future. So very exciting, very exciting. Carmel, you've got fibro as well. Wow. That's a, yeah, see, we've got so many. I'm so glad that you are part of our community, Crystal, and that you can see how many people here, have it, and uh, lots of people definitely to sympathize and hopefully use us some resources as well. And you're 100% right. Trauma can cause chronic pain, Deaudrey. Um, it Our body stores those memories, and as we've talked before, the science behind it, the higher the stress, when the trauma comes, your stress and your cortisol level increase and your immune system decreases, and the longer that goes on and your nervous system is on heightened alert, your immune system keeps pushing down, you're less able to fight off things that come, and chronic pain can be a huge issue. I know it was for me. I have also another reason for my chronic pain. It's because of my scar tissue from my back, but it it definitely is an area that people need to be more aware of, right? Um, Gabora Mate has a book out about talking about this. Bessel van der Kolk has a seminal book, The Body Keeps the Score, but Gabor Mate, in my opinion, he's got a lot of videos out where he's talked about this and explains it, and explains the connection and the connection to ADHD, as well as chronic immune deficiency disorders, um, like lupus, like rheumatoid arthritis, those sorts of things. Okay, I am noticing it's 10 to 4, guys. I got to run because I need a quick little break, and then I'm going to be on the 5 questions with the source. You guys can all jump over there and join me. That would be wonderful. I would greatly love to see you guys and see the support of my community over on his channel. So with that, I bid you adieu. I do want to ask you though, 1, hit that like button. 2, subscribe if you haven't and hit the bell for all for notifications. And 3, leave a comment after the show. If you're on replay, it can be simple as replay. But what I want to know from you is I have a new banner, guys. Check it out. You can check it out on your phone. You can check it out on the computer. And if you check it out on your TV, you're going to see something even better. I love the whole thing, but you can't see it on your other devices. So hopefully I've got it so you get a little bit more each larger screen that you get. So you're going to see one thing on your phone. You're going to see something a little bit different if you're on your computer, and you get to see the full thing if you can pull it up on your TV. So Let me know what you think in the comments. All right. I would love to know, do you think it looks good? Do you think I should move stuff? Do you think the colors are all right? Let me know. I greatly appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Rick Spicer, glad you were here. Carmel has just dropped the link here for the source. It goes straight to our live. So I hope to see you all there. With that, I bid you adieu. Remember, you are valuable, you are worthy, and you are loved just the way you are for who you are. So hugs and love from me. I will talk to you guys soon. Bye. Enjoy our outro song.
Through the fire, through the rain, we have walked through endless pain, but we stand, we rise again, stronger now, we break the chain, surviving together, hearts open wide, lifting each other through every tide. The past may have shaped us, but it won't define. Together we heal, together we shine. Every tear, every scar tells the story of who we are. Not just survivors, but warriors too. With love as our armor, we see this through. We see you, we hear you, and we believe in you. Surviving together, hearts open wide, lifting each other through every tide. The past may have shaped us, but it won't define. Together we heal, together we shine. We see you, we hear you, and we believe in you. Surviving together.